You're live?
Jason, you're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth PvP Live Friday Night Face-Off. I am your host, joined by Paul and commentators Wes and Riles. Paul, how you doing today, buddy?
Hello, Jason. I'm doing great this evening. Looking forward to today's broadcast.
Yeah, I think we have a couple good teams coming up here. Wes, how you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great, actually. I'm looking forward to this game. Yeah.
Excellent. Riles, how you doing? Yeah, I know you have some added responsibilities today by streaming this as well.
I'm doing great. Looking forward to watching Pyro making a debut here in PvP Live. So, former teammate of mine from Sonic Kids back in last season when we played together. So, looking forward, cheering for him, hoping for the best. So yeah, gonna be awesome to see my old teammate play. But also, this team is pretty good, this Russian team.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking forward to a great match.
Excellent. Just real quick, I think someone in the stream forgot to mute their stream, and it's kind of echoing back into my ear. If we could maybe fix that.
I'm not guilty.
Okay, I think someone is. I can't really...
I don't know. It's not me.
Yeah, it's not me.
But it doesn't really matter too much.
Okay, continuing on. Okay, sorry about that. Continuing on. So last week we had some exciting stuff going on in the last week's Friday Night Face-Off. We had House Tully versus Team Tesoro, and of course Team Tesoro came out with that win, 2-0. Paul, you were there last week. What did you think about that match? Both of them were pretty quick.
Yeah, they were very quick. I think it was kind of a case of one comp just being much better than the other comp, to be quite honest with you. I thought the MLD... the MLD were far more experienced players, far more well-known players, so that obviously played a big part of it.
Right.
But I just felt Snuggly's team, House Tully, they were just, they kind of made some bad decisions in the fact that they didn't try to change anything the second game after they kind of got wrecked in the first game. But, they tried what they did and didn't really work out. I kind of felt that was what's going to happen before the game started, so...
Going down to Wes, what did you think about that, the last week's Friday Night Face-Off?
It was actually pretty fast-paced games. I enjoyed watching them, I enjoyed commentating them, and I think the Russian team was definitely stronger in terms of gameplay, and it really showed in the games. And yeah, it was just really enjoyable to watch overall, though.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Like I said, the first one went by really quick, and the second one lasted a bit longer, and it seemed like they were kind of focused on Snuggly and Feral Druid the whole time. Riles, going to you real quick. What were your opinions on last week's arena tournament?
I think it was a little bit dominant from Fake Use, Foxitas, MLD. I mean, overall, hearing from them as well, practice a lot, and just saying themselves they should win the most, almost 10 out of 10. So they played pretty well. They're pretty known. I think it was a little bit maybe out of their league. I mean, semi-pride team versus a really big all-star sponsor team. I mean, it's a difference, and we saw that yesterday, and how this difference comes out. But it was an exciting match, as the FMP actually did a lot better second match. But Fake You and those guys showed why they're actually sponsored last week. Sorry.
Well, jumping right into the two teams that we have today, we have winners coming. It's a Russian team. It's Kitty Cleave. We have Inflame playing an Arms Warrior. Nappa Crowley is a Holy Paladin, and Jokic is a Feral Druid. And then we have Rest and Protein, a German team. WLS, Pyrocata playing Arms Warrior, Gizmo playing a Restoration Shaman, and Mega and Affliction Warlock. So, going right down to you, Wes. Wes, what kind of, do you want to kind of break down each, basically the difference between each comp?
Yeah, sure. I'll just start with the WLS, the Warrior Warlock Shaman team.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at spreading pressure around, but what they can do, they have really strong single target because of the Warrior in the team. So, the thing is that they can open really hard with the Dark Soul from the Warlock, which is damage increase cooldown, and the probably a Blade Storm from the Warrior. I'm expecting them to use Blade Storm. and that creates a lot of pressure in the start right away. And what we'll be seeing is probably the Kitty Cleave wants to prevent the damage on them by forcing them to stop doing damage and just starting to peel for the Shaman. So I'm thinking the Kitty Cleave will go for the Shaman, and by that negating some of the opening pressure from the WLS. But maybe someone else has more to say on it.
Well, let me ask you this. We were kind of talking before, and it seems like the unanimous decision this time was these are going to be some quick matches. Wes, do you want to kind of comment on the space or the speed that we think these matches are going to take up?
Well, basically, the thing is that the Kitty Cleave is Warrior Feral Holy Paladin. It's a melee cleave, and melee cleaves are not known for living a long time. So they need to get pressure going fast and need to land the kills very quickly, otherwise they're going to lose the game. So that's why I think it's probably going to be a quick game.
Riles, going over to you, do you want to kind of comment on the two comps coming up here?
Yeah, I mean, Kitty Cleave actually has an advantage as they can sit pretty hard on the Warlock, but it also is the difference between if the Warlock is actually playing with the... I even forgot the name of the talent, embarrassing. Well, talent where basically you get feared off if you out-attack him, so the difference between that one and Shadow Fury is going to be huge, and I think he might play with Shadow Fury because his Warrior might play with Bladestorm, so we might see that coming in. And if it's gonna actually be huge for him, I don't know. But I think it's gonna be a quick game, either side. At least if the longer the game goes, I think it's gonna go the more to the favor of the VLS. And it's simply because actually Cleave type of comp, it's all about going through with your cooldowns. And your cooldowns have such a long cooldown, you want to have them back until you're dead, or either the enemy team is dead. So literally you rely on your cooldowns pretty much, and you need to execute them pretty well.
We kind of touched base on it before. The Kitty Cleave is probably expected to be training Gizmo, the Resto Shaman. Do you think the WLS is actually going to be going after the Feral Druid Jokic? Riles?
Yeah, I think they will probably target the Feral Druid, as the Warriors seem pretty hard to kill these days. So I would say they're gonna do that, but we're gonna see. The Paladins can be a real target as well, but I also think the Kitty Cleave is just gonna tunnel into the Warlock or the Resto Shaman. I'm not too sure which one, but either target is ideal for this matchup.
Excellent. Before we get to Paul, I just want to remind everyone, please go to pvp-live.com. Bookmark the website, follow us here on Twitch, and follow all of us on Twitter. Paul, what do you kind of think about the two teams playing today?
Well, I think they're two very good teams, of course. Everyone knows pretty much all of the players in it. They're all well known around the community. The thing that I was just thinking of is that I'm just not sure what towns they're going to choose. I mean, a lot of it determines on what targets they're going to go on. For example, I'm fairly sure that the Kitty Cleave is going to train the Shaman.
Right.
I think that's fairly their best target, but if they're going to do that, is the Warrior going to take Bladestorm so he's not peelable during that, or is he going to take it just because, well, the WLS Warrior is obviously going to be on either the Feral or the Warrior? I mean, they could go Paladin, but I just think the Shaman would die first if they left him alone.
Right.
So if he takes Bladestorm, he's going to do additional damage to the Warrior as well, and that leaves a chance to swap.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
as
we're about to...
as that is.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're about to go into the match, and I just want to ask prediction actually, right before the match. Who do you actually think is going to win this matchup?
Ooh, that's Wes. Starting with you, what do you think?
I want to root for the Kitty Cleave. It's just I like melee cleaves. Because they offer fast gameplay, so I want to see them. I want to see some good gameplay from the Kitty Cleave. Yeah.
Paul, how about yourself? Last minute predictions.
I'm gonna do the exact opposite.
Oh boy.
I want the WLS to win because I hate melee cleaves. I don't like seeing them. So, just for that reason alone, I want the WLS to win.
Riles, how about yourself?
I think the VLS is going to win, literally because Pyro is one of my former teammates, and he's not going to disappoint me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with Wes on this one. I'm going to go with the Kitty Cleave, and I think we're going to actually take it right over to the first arena match right now.
Yes, we are, and we're about to go in here. The countdown has begun, and it's 10 seconds left before we go into the match.
Hold on. No, stop then. Needs to redo them. Sorry, man.
Oh, one second then.
It's very bad. That's really my bad, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Mistakes happen, sorry for the delay, guys. But yeah, so we all had our predictions. You can't back out of it. You're locked into the prediction now, so if you lose now, you can't go back like, I meant that comp, but it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be stuck with the comp you choose. So, But yeah,
I'm happy with my choice. I'm happy with my
me
choice.
too. I mean, I think that VLS can pretty much do a lot of CC into Holy Pally, and Vorlox are known to be able to CC Holy Palace really a lot. So yeah, looking forward to see that CC coming into the Napper Call, see how he's gonna avoid it.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how long these matches are actually going to take. Hopefully, hopefully they have some staying power.
I don't think so. I honestly think this game is going to be very, very short. That's just, I don't think melee cleaves last. Like, I think the melee cleaves in trouble if the game lasts longer than
Right.
say a couple minutes.
All right,
I think
we'll be starting this
WLS
countdown
is
now.
very strong.
Okay, guys, I think
Countdown.
we are actually going into the game with Riles and Wes right now.
Yes, we are, and there we go. So the countdown has begun, and we're just gonna see what's gonna happen here. Just waiting to get into some PvP action right here, and it's gonna be Resting Protein, Pyrocta, Megas, and Grimzo versus Napicol in Flame. And with this winter is coming the Russian team representing Russia. So yeah, it's gonna see what's gonna happen here, and the Kitty Cleave is gonna stand a little bit back off.
It's,
They're not gonna be rushing in.
The other team was late with the countdown. They did see the countdown. They didn't start though, so they didn't. So I'll just.
Well, Pyros was asking if we should restart the game because it's been 5 minutes, but I'm not sure why. I think they were worried about the debuff.
Yeah, I think that's a.
Matter, though. It
It's
shouldn't
not
matter.
a problem. No, that doesn't matter. We can go. Just so. No, they're seeing the countdown. It's all good. We should just start now.
Okay.
All right. So, are you ready?
Should I do a recount?
All right. Just do a recount and we'll just say
Yeah.
when we go.
1, 2, and 3.
3. All right. Sorry for that, guys. I was really messy, so I'm sorry for that. We don't have a usual technical director, but let's go for the game. Raz, you can take it.
Yeah. So once again, Pyro, Magus, and Grimzo versus this Kitty Cleave. Can it stand up against such a counter comp? To be honest, in my opinion, Kitty Cleave is a little bit counter for Resu Shaman and Affliction Warlock, especially since they actually removed the run while casting. But the match is gonna begin, and Pyro is gonna look to get a Demonic Gateway off. Is he gonna be able to get it? Looks like he's gonna be able to get it, and the Kitty Cleave are running in. Gonna see what they're gonna focus up here on here. They're gonna open on into Grismo here. He's gonna be focused on it immediately. He has his Earth Shell on him himself. Riptide is up on himself as well. Hodge is gonna be coming in as a CC immediately from Napricol. Good job by him trying to go offensive, but Grimzo gonna use the portal to disengage from there immediately. Good job by him. Gonna get it behind that pillar. Get a little sneaky heal to get topped off. But look at him, he's still being targeted. So much pressure coming into the Grimzo here. Everything's being popped here from the Inflame here. He's Blade Storm, Rex Storm, everything here. Skull Banner has been popped here. And the Paladin has popped as well. Wings here. A lot of pressure coming into Grimzo. He might just go down here. The Spirit Link is gonna come out, and he's barely gonna survive.
Yeah, that was actually very close. He triggered the Warrior Stun just to get the Spirit Link off, so now he doesn't have anything left. That was the last cooldown. There's being some pills on the Feral, on the Warrior, but there's the half health. The Shadow should be fine for now. He's in this yard shock stun though. He's still solo. He's so much trouble. He needs so much pills right now. NS heal comes out. Full stun from the Feral though. He seems Feral is actually dropping a little bit of a counter pressure, but the Shaman is still solo. He's gating away. That might save him just now. No, the Warrior Hero leaves and charges him. He's probably gonna go down. He's solo. It's stumbled and he's gonna go drop. Oh wow, that was actually really rough for the Shaman. But there's still some counter pressure going on. The bubble from the Pollen coming out though, so I think he's just turning those heals on the Feral, and the Warrior seems to be going down, and that will probably be the end of the game, yeah.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the first game. Going into winter is coming here. We're gonna see the scoreboard, and I wanna see DPS a little bit here. Gonna leave it up here, but yeah. So we can talk a little bit about the DPS here. So it looks like actually Pyro and Megas did more. No, actually Pyro did half of the almost no. Yeah, at least Pyro got out DPS pretty hard. So maybe he should pop his cooldowns a little bit earlier. We can talk about that. So we have the numbers here, and we can just wrap it up and give it into the Jason and them. So gonna move into them in 5.
Well, I want to say one thing. I think, okay, well, we're still going to Jason then.
Yep.
Wow, that was an exciting matchup. Winner's coming with the first win. Going to you first, Paul. Paul, was that kind of like the speed, the pace that you thought that was going to be set during that match?
Yeah, to be honest, I think they last a little longer than I was expecting. Like,
Mhm.
it's just really like Shamans have always been weak against melee cleaves. This isn't something new.
Right.
We kind of knew that he was going to be the target. We kind of knew this was going to be difficult for the WLS. It's like even if they play really well, Kitty Cleave has the big advantage. So, I mean, them losing isn't like them saying they got beat. Honestly, it's them getting played worse. It's just Kitty Cleave sometimes just can do that to Shamans. I definitely agree with what Ral said. I think they need to put out their counter pressure a lot earlier and a lot quicker than they did. I think they waited a bit too long to do it.
Right.
WLS is one of those comps that needs to have pressure. It needs to have the early pressure and to keep it. If you start losing momentum as this comp, that's when you've basically lost the game, when you've lost the momentum, especially against the melee cleave. So it's kind of what I was expecting, to be quite honest.
Wes, going down to you. Great job commentating. What exactly did you see in that? Was that kind of the pace that you thought that was going to happen during this match?
Well, this is the melee cleave where you usually look for when you want to really see a melee cleave. Is they actually use the corners together on the same target. They have it all connected. They actually didn't have too many. The peels were already DR'd, so they didn't get to peel so many, and they actually perfectly CC'd the Shaman, so he couldn't get the heals out enough. So they forced everything with the cooldowns, and then the Shaman didn't have anything left. He couldn't live anymore. So it's not that the WS did it too wrong. It's a really rough match for them, as I said already.
Mhm.
But if the Kitty Cleave does it right, the Shaman is going to be in a lot of trouble all game. So it's something to keep in mind.
Right. Riles, going over to you. What did you see? Is that kind of what you were expecting for that first match?
To be honest, that was kind of what I thought was going to happen, but I was hoping for Pyro and the boys to be able to pull something off. But I mean, Kitty Cleave always when I played, I really hated Kitty Cleave. They just taunted the Shaman from 100 to 0, and really that's what Kitty Cleave should be doing. I mean, it's a good job by Winter's Coming, Napricol going in the playstyle of that Kitty Cleave is perfect. I mean, how they run in, Napricol is going in with the Hodge immediately. Like, getting combat, the Hodge is coming in immediately. They pop all cooldowns. Like, they rotate their CCs pretty well, and they don't overlap stuff. I mean, that's how we need to play. Like, sure, it's a counter, but good Kitty Cleaves wouldn't be able to pull this off versus such a high caliber VLS as well.
Right. Kind of before we go back into this next match, are the predictions the same? Starting with you, Wes, do you think Winter's Coming is going to clean it up with this next match?
Can you rephrase once more?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just predictions for the next match. Do you think Winter's Coming is going to clean up like you predicted the first match?
Well, the first game seems pretty decisive. I mean, it's really rough for the WLS. So unless they can get the pressure going early on and make the Kitty Cleave go defensive,
right.
I think it's pretty grim.
Riles, how about you? Are you sticking with the WLS for the next match? Or?
I really hope they can come back, but unless the Kitty Cleave doesn't make any major mistakes, they're not going to be able to lose because they have the synergy, they have the coordination. They're not going to be able to lose when they actually have such a comp advantage as well. And
right.
I mean, when they coordinate a team and everything like that, and you basically have the comp advantage, you're most likely going to win. Especially in this is the biggest counter comp for a VLS actually. Just to actually point that out. So it can be something to see, but I mean, still a good job by actually resting Protein to actually be able to survive for such a long time. I mean, they did really good PLs. They did try to force some cooldowns, but I mean, it's still really hard. And Winter's Coming is a pretty good team.
Going to you, Paul, right before we get to the matches again. What do you think? Are you sticking with the WLS to pull out this first win in the second round?
I want the WLS to win, but I'm not sure if they will. I kind of agree with what everyone else is saying. This is kind of a big counter to them, so they definitely have the short end of the stick here coming up against the Kitty. And, fair play to them. Like, they could have seen that they were coming up against a massive counter and said, sorry, we don't want to play this because, we have kind of a little chance, especially against a high-level team. So, yeah, I kind of want them to win, but I have my doubts.
I'm going to interrupt you here. We're going into the game, this second game for the WLS against the Kitty Cleave. Let's see if the WLS can play it better. Maybe it can pull something off. We don't know. And let's see how it starts.
Excellent.
I'll leave it at you.
Alright, gates have open. Teams running in. Alright, Kitty Cleave rushing in. Paladin actually extending the furthest. Warrior is a bit back still. He was actually charged on by the other Warrior. The gateway is up. Feral is staying in the stuff now. Hodge onto Pyroxer. And there they go. Keycleave opening on the Shaman with the Feral Pounds. Warlock is trying to get some pills out. Shaman is already dropping to half. Captain is down, but it's going to go off Ferals in the full stun. He's getting dispelled right away. Demon Soul coming out. Recklessness from the Warrior. They're trying to pressure really hard. Seems like they want to go for the Feral again. And Shaman is dropping so low. He already gated. Warrior can't catch up to him, so he's actually... The Shaman seems like he can top himself right now.
And the Feral's just going to go down.
Feral dropped. So that was... Wow. They actually surprised them completely.
That was...
I think the Feral was on global, so he couldn't use the bubble. Like the cooldown, the bubble, he gets from symbiosis. It's on the global cooldown. So if the Feral uses an ability, he can't use bubble. I think that's what happened.
I see. Well, still a little bit greedy there, but also, as I said, I mean, if they don't do any major mistakes, Resin Protein might be able to pull it off, and it's gonna be tied up 1-1. Gonna be such an exciting game, and we're just gonna bring everything to the to the desk. Just gonna go there in 5 seconds.
Now that was something that we weren't expecting. The Feral Druid, Jokic, kind of went down really fast in that first round, so now we're tied up 1-1. Paul, what did you think about that last match?
I'm actually really surprised that happened because Napricol kind of raped the Warriors, so to speak, at the start of that game. They got in. He ran in. He's trying to stop the Warrior from getting the charge to stop gate or to stop the early pressure, but he gets freedom on his mount, so he's just running straight in. Warrior gets hodged, the WLS Warrior, Pyro. Then he gets blinded out of that by the Paladin as well. So that's like 6-7 seconds. He's not doing anything at all. He gets out of it. He gets rooted straight away by the Feral. He has to use his intervene to get out of that, and then jumps onto the Feral, pops all his cooldowns straight away, and they get a lot of pressure by that. But I honestly thought it was gonna end pretty quickly because of that. They really had a bad opener, but they just managed to pull it round by pretty good damage, I guess.
Wes, what do you think that the Kitty Cleave could have done a little bit better to protect themselves from Resin Protein?
I really think it was just a miscommunication, something like that, because that's just basically the Feral didn't use bubble, and that's basically it. If he would have had bubble, if he would have used it, he would have been completely fine. So I really think it's more that they made that one massive mistake than making a lot of player mistakes altogether.
Mm-hmm. Riles, going to you, Jokic, like we said before, the Feral Druid went down pretty quick that match. What could they have done different to prevent that?
I think the only difference they could have done is literally just the Feral Druid actually just reacting faster to the pressure he actually got on himself. I think he got a little bit hang up in that the Rescue Shaman was being focused so hard and was about to die, so he actually forgot to watch his own HP. And this happens a lot in the pro scene. I mean, you're about to kill someone and you're going real offensive and you actually forget your own HP and you die by overextending. I mean, even he can overextend a lot. He has a lot of cooldowns. He has Barskin, he has Shell Wall, he has Bubble, and his Paladin didn't use anything as well. So I mean, there was a ton of stuff to go through. I mean, that was just a huge mistake by the Feral Druid there, to be honest, or simply the team. I mean, they could have done a lot of stuff, but as well, good job by Resin Protein to actually take advantage of that mistake. But still, I gotta hand it down.
Oh, good.
I gotta hand it down to Napricol. If you notice all the CC, I was actually just focusing on him and the CC he did on Pyro on the start. I mean, that's just crazy, denying him from peeling.
Yeah, that was a super exciting second match overall. And I think we're actually going to get right back into the next match right now. Are we all set up over there, Wes?
We're just almost. We have a little bit more time.
Okay.
If you want to say something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Basically, so I think we kind of went over basically, the main pros and cons from each additional comp. Wes, is there anything else that you would kind of like, kind of like to break down from each team?
I'm not sure. You mean the cooldown usage?
Yeah, cooldown usage would be great.
Well, I'm thinking that the Kitty Cleave, basically what they want to do is stay offensive, so what the Paladin tries to do is simply chain his healing cooldowns in a row and just keep his team top so they can keep going offensive all the time and keep the pressure on the Shaman. And that's basically what I think the Kitty Cleave really excels at.
Since we're waiting actually here to go to the next one, in our podcast on Sunday, we were talking about the PvP summit that was hosted at Blizzard last Friday, I believe it was, right? And I think we kind of talked about it a little bit last week as well. But it's really amazing to see that Blizzard's kind of starting to back PvP again. And hopefully in 2014, I think they're maybe going to put a little more focus on PvP as they haven't in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, what do you think?
That would be great. I'm going to interrupt you because we'll be going straight into this next game, in the third game, final game. So, yeah.
The final game of the
Take
match here, and it's gonna be 10 seconds from now. We're gonna see the destiny of Winter's Coming against Resin Protein. It's gonna be the Kitty Cleave versus the VLS. Is the VLS gonna have an extreme comeback here against this counter comp? He's gonna be able to get the Demonic Gateway. He's gonna be able to get it off, which is really huge. Pyro once again gonna be actually Hodge there, and he's gonna be able to get out of that one. So he's gonna be out of that one, and he's gonna be able to peel for his team immediately. Doesn't look like the pressure is gonna be there. And Grimzo landing a double capstone him on the Feral Druid and the Warrior, which is pretty huge for him. He managed to peel for himself for such a long time because of that, and he seems to be fine. But Grimzo is actually gonna be targeted once again. He's gonna land a double capstone him once again. Such a good move by Grimzo, but is it gonna be enough? The Feral Druid's being focused pretty hard as well. Looks like he has to go through some defensive cooldowns here.
Yeah, the WBS is doing pretty well in this pressure. But here comes the Recklesses and the Blazing from the Warrior. The other Ferox have props for Recklesses as well, so both Warriors turn to defense. Gizmo dropping solo, he might have to Spirit Link. A short fear on the Paladin. Feral seems to be fine with that. Gizmo solo, he might have to Spirit Link goes down with the Hellshot as well, so overlap that. And Ness as well, used as well. Still stunning Gizmo. He doesn't have a trinket, he doesn't have anything. The Hellshot is going to drop in a little bit. Ferox is
Riles, I think you have
Hodge.
to switch the screen here.
Oh my god.
Gizmo is actually really low, 200k, and if 150k is still so low, he's skating away. He seems like he might be able to live for now. Demon Soul with the dodge on Gizmo, he's dropping so low, he gets himself into Feral's gonna drop again without using the bubble. It's actually really, really awkward, actually.
The most awkward part was actually me not zoning into the matchup, and that is like, I gotta deeply apologize for that, and I literally have no words. I'm just really sad because that game was amazing. That game was amazing. Resin Protein took it 2-1 and came back from that deposit. I'm really sorry. I have nothing else I can say. I don't know if we're gonna get a rematch or anything. I can speak to the teams and we can see, guys. And I'm really sorry about that. I think the final count is gonna be 2-1 because that was just crazy match. I don't know whether we're gonna have to speak a little bit about this in the chat. Just be right back 1 second, guys.
Jason?
Oh, I'm sorry. Heading back to yeah. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, guys. This time around, we have a different setup right now. We're trying to work out some bugs. I'm really sorry for that. So Paul, basically going right to you. Paul, let's talk about that last match that we just saw.
Yeah, with all, no offense to the Russian team, I'm really glad that the German team won, mainly because they were playing melee caster healer. I mean, this is kind of what we were talking about on our podcast, just to plug that a little. It's like, I think those games where you have like melee caster healer are the better games, because they're more fun to watch. And it's like, these games were really, really good, actually, to be fair. But it's kind of like every game was the same. The targets were all the same. I think that they maybe should have switched it up, the Kitty Cleave. Like, maybe even chucking the Warlock really quickly or something like that, just to give that surprise element. Because if they know what they're doing, and say, for example, the Warlock's not playing with Blood Horror any of those games, so it makes him a lot easier to train, and they could just, it gives that element of surprise rather than, just doing the same thing over and over. So I think, both teams played really well. I like the fact that the melee cleave didn't win, to be fair, and, that's how I see it.
Yeah, it was overall pretty quick. It was very close on both sides. Going down to West, what did you think of the match?
I also seen everything of it. It's really, yeah, the food and everything, but it was actually, the opener was really good for the WLS. They actually stopped the getting from the KT from getting pressure on the Shaman, and they got pressure themselves. So they had the head start pretty much, if you want to say it like that. And that really gives them a lot more going for themselves during the games because they had that head start. So yeah.
Riles, that was a pretty quick match. I know we didn't get to see the whole match itself, but do you want to give a kind of breakdown and talk about if that's what you expected or not?
To be honest, I was really impressed by the whole team of Wrestling Protein, and but yeah, once again, Jokic making a huge mistake, not bubbling once again, but still, I gotta hand it down to Grismo for his place with the capstone totem, and I'm gonna explain how it works. Actually, you basically place down a totem, and it does like an AoE stun, but it's like 5 seconds delay or 3 seconds. It depends if you glyph it. If you glyph it, it's 3 seconds. So basically, they can kill it in that 3 seconds, or they can just move away. And to be honest, that actually Grimzo predicted, like each time he got CC'd or something, or he got stuck, he actually did a caps totem, or he did a pre-caps totem, instantly they connected to him. There's a caps totem landing on both of them, and it happened twice that game, or 3 times, I'm not too sure, but I was really impressed by that, and I was hang up on that the whole game. So just gonna hand it down, VIP of the match, definitely Grimzo there, and the playmaker also from Winter Coming, and Napicol did some amazing CC into Pyro. He started a match with going in with a Hodge, but I mean, what also was good to see was that every game Napicol ran in and Hodged Pyro, but what Grimzo did, he actually dispelled it off immediately. He knew that Hodge was gonna come in, so he was waiting for it to come in, and he dispelled it immediately. He also landed a double capstone totem on the both DPSers, and it was just a huge turnaround. I mean, really rare clutch moves from Wrestling Protein. And I mean, that's why I actually said they can win, because they're such a great team. I mean, such actually skills, everything like that. So just gonna hand it down to them. Good job by them.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting match. All 3 matches were very exciting. Guys, sorry again about the technical difficulties. Like I said, we're kind of working out a new system right now. We're kind of all getting used to it at the moment. Again, guys, please go to pvp-live.com, bookmark the website, follow us here on Twitch, and make sure to follow us all on Twitter. And, this is just a start. This is only our 4th one, Friday Night Face-Off, and we're still trying to get the tournaments all figured out and situated.
I want to win some real quick.
Sure.
We're looking to maybe get another game going because the last game wasn't really shown completely. So maybe we can get another going if we can get some contact on the Winter Coming team. We might be able to let's set up another game for the viewers.
Yeah, the tournament. It's already been decided though that Wrestling Protein have won. This is just because we kind of messed up a bit there. And just to say what everyone else has said, our usual technical director isn't here today. So we were unable to have and it was kind of last minute. We had to find some. Riles had to do it himself, and he hadn't done it, and so basically a lot went wrong. But this is what the Friday Night Face-Off was for. This was the whole point of it, was to work out these mistakes and get them so that it doesn't happen during more important times.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of just the beginning of it. We're kind of working out technical difficulties, and again, we're always looking for teams to compete in our Friday Night Face-Offs. So please email support at pvp-live.com or message any of us on Twitter, and we can actually set it up. Apparently, we're not going to actually have another match today, and we're kind of wrap this up today. Again, sorry for all the technical difficulties. Paul, going to you. Do you have any last-minute shout-outs before we wrap up this broadcast?
Just a shout-out as usual to all my friends who are in the chat. Love you guys.
Wes, steaming on down to you. How about you?
I want to shout out my teammates actually. They've been asking Hadouken and Release. They've been asking me. We're playing the weirdest comps, and they wanted to shout us. So here they go, Release and Hadouken.
Riles, any last-minute shout-outs before we wrap up this 4th Friday Night Face-Off?
Shout out to Pyro, the man, winning, even though he played a counter-comp matchup that he actually didn't want to play, and shout out for him to actually coming here. Really helps out when teams like this coming, even though they know they're against a hard matchup and good players, and that they actually pulled off a win was pretty impressive. Like I said, I wanted them to win, but I didn't actually expect them to win. But yeah, so GG's from them, and I still again need to apologize for the viewers actually for the big mistake of not swapping the scene. I have nothing more to say, and yeah, thanks for me.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Paul. You know, technical difficulties happen all the time, but thank you to Winners Coming and Rest in Protein for an excellent